eyes full of fire. He didn't know what tomorrow held, but he knew one thing for sure. He was going back to that store. Again and again. And with each plate of jollof, he would learn more about the woman who, without even trying, had cracked open the door to his guarded heart. Chike didn't know what was happening to him, but for the first time in years, he looked forward to waking up. The grumble of buses, the scent of fuel and roasted corn in the air, these things used to irritate him. Now, they felt like a welcome hum beneath the melody of his thoughts. More specifically, thoughts of Amara. Every morning, he walked the same path through Yoba, past the noise and chaos, until he reached her stall. And every morning, she pretended not to expect him. But he knew better. Late again, she said on the fourth day, not looking up from the pot. "You didn't give me a shift time," he replied. She handed him a plate, same as always, jollof, egg, and 2 slices of dodo. "Price has gone up 250 Nigerian nairas today." Chike reached into his pocket and gave her 300 Nigerian nairas. "Keep the change." She raised an eyebrow. "Who dash you money?" "I found a rich uncle," he grinned. She snorted and turned away, but he caught the slight dimple that appeared when she smirked. It became their routine. Chike would eat, help her serve food during busy hours, and then stay afterward to help clean up. He fixed a broken table leg, repaired her rusty stove, and even made a simple signboard for her stall using scrap wood. "You're handy," she said one evening, watching him tighten a bolt. He shrugged. "I grew up fixing things." She gave him a sideways glance. "You don't talk much about your past. And you don't ask." She laughed, soft and low. "Touché." Each day peeled back a new layer. Amara told him about her childhood in Enugu, how she moved to Lagos to find work after her father died. How she carried jollof rice in coolers to offices before saving enough to open the store. Chike told her half-truths. That he was from Anambra. That he'd been a mechanic for 2 years. That his parents died young. She didn't pry. And he was grateful. But sometimes, the weight of the lie itched under his skin like a second shirt in the heat. One Saturday evening, the market had closed early because of a power outage. The streets were quieter than usual, bathed in the orange glow of dying sunlight. "Let me walk you home," Chike offered. Amara hesitated. She was used to carrying burdens alone: money, food, worry. Letting someone else carry even one of those things felt unfamiliar. But something about Emeka, his steadiness, the way he never tried to impress her, made her nod. They walked in silence for a while. The air was thick with humidity and the faint scent of fried akara from a nearby stall. Amara spoke first. "You always seem like you're thinking a lot." "I do." "About what?" He paused. "About how life would be easier if people were honest from the start." She stopped walking and looked at him. "That's true. But it's also scary. Most people lie because they think the truth will push others away." Chike nodded slowly. "Is there anything you've ever hidden?" She gave a small, sad laugh. "Plenty. My fear. My pain. My anger. But what good would it do to wear all that on my chest when people already see me as just a poor girl trying to survive?" He looked at her then, really looked. Not at her worn shoes, or the tired scarf tied around her head, or the calluses on her hands. He saw the fire in her eyes, the resilience in her posture. She wasn't just surviving. She was fighting. And still making space to be kind. "I think you're the strongest person I know," he said quietly. She rolled her eyes but smiled. "You don't know many people, then." They reached her gate. It was old, rusted, with peeling blue paint. Her world stood behind it: a sick mother, unpaid bills, a leaking roof. Thank you, she said, hand on the latch. For walking you. For seeing me. And before he could respond, she was gone. Back at his mechanic's room, Chike lay awake, the fan creaking above him. He pulled out his phone and stared at his banking app, tens of millions sitting untouched. In another life, he could solve all her problems in a day. Pay off her rent, fly Mama Uche to a private hospital, open a full restaurant for Amara. But then, would she still look at him the same? Would she smile at Emeka, the humble mechanic, or fear Chike, the billionaire she never knew existed? He didn't know. But he did know this: he couldn't stay away from her. Not now. Not when every day brought him closer to something real. Meanwhile, in her room, Amara watched Mama Uche sleep. She clutched a worn Bible and whispered, "God, I don't know who that man is or why he's come into my life. But if this is one of your lessons, please make it gentle. I don't think my heart can handle another storm." The night was quiet, but somewhere in the air between them, between the poor girl with burdens and the rich man wearing a mask, love began to take root. Slowly. Softly. Like a flower daring to bloom in the middle of the dust. The days blurred into weeks, and Yoba became a theater of quiet transformation. Chike, still going by Emeka, had fully adapted to his role as a mechanic. Grease stained his nails, his fingers toughened, and his back ached in ways it never had in the marble halls of Banana Island. But he didn't complain. Because every day ended at Amara's food store, and that had become the anchor to a life that felt finally genuine. But love, especially one built on a secret, never blossoms without being tested. And the test came sooner than expected. The first crack. It started with whispers. Lagos is a city where everyone's watching, even when you think they aren't. A nosy market woman, Mama Busy, pulled Amara aside one morning. Her breath smelled like dry fish and gossip. "That your new mechanic friend," she said, eyes narrow. "What about him?" Amara asked, already annoyed. "He too clean. His English too smooth. I no trust men like that." Amara scoffed. "He works at the shop beside here. He helps me clean my store. Wetin concern you? I just dey talk my own. Be careful, oh. Not all that glitters is gold." Amara walked away, but the words lingered. That evening, as Emeka laughed with one of the little boys who helped her carry water, Amara studied him. Really studied him. The way he wiped his hands neatly. The way his shirt, though faded, was always tucked in. The way he listened, attentively, like someone trained to sit through boardroom meetings. And something inside her whispered, "He's not telling you everything." A sudden emergency. The challenge turned from whispers to panic when Mama Uche collapsed. It happened on a Sunday morning. Amara had just finished scrubbing pots when her mother gasped and fell beside the bed, clutching her chest. "Mama," she screamed. "Please stay with me." Neighbors helped carry her to the local clinic, but the doctor shook his head. "She needs a heart scan. Possibly surgery. But we don't have the equipment here. You must take her to Lagos Island General or a private hospital." "How much?" Amara whispered. "Nigerian Naira 500,000 deposit." Her world tilted. That kind of money didn't exist in her life. Not in her savings, not in her dreams. She sat outside the clinic, holding her mother's worn scarf, her hands shaking. And without thinking, she pulled out her small Nokia phone and called the only number her heart trusted in that moment. The first lie that hurt. "Emeka, please. I need help," her voice cracked over the line. He was at the mechanic shop, wiping down a carburetor, when he froze. "Where are you?" "The clinic beside St. Mark's Church." "It's Mama." She collapsed. They said she needs surgery and I don't have the money. Chike felt the ground shift. This was the moment, the point where the truth should come out. Where he could drop the mask and say, I can fix this. I'm not who you think I am. But fear choked him. If he told her now, would she feel betrayed? Used? Would she walk away forever? Don't worry, he said finally. I'll find something. She paused. Emeka, I didn't call to put pressure. I didn't know who else. I'll find a way. He hung up. Then immediately called Tulu. I need 1 million Nigerian nairas in cash. Today. What? Why? Just do it. Bring it to me at the shop in an envelope. Don't ask questions. Tolu hesitated. This is